Well, good morning, this is the English guy in Mexico. Actually, it's good afternoon, it's the 15th of May 2016. Another beautiful afternoon here on the hacienda. And I haven't done any updates for about 6 weeks, so what I wanted to do, take you past the fruit trees that are going crazy, the oranges and the peaches are all coming up, and we're going to walk out into this field. I don't think I've done any videos actually out on this acre. So my homemade gate saves money, just a bit of old cattle fencing and some wood. Well, the sheep and the goats, we started with 2 on this 1 acre. Well, actually they started, I've got an acre down in that corner. I actually started them down there, 2 sheep on their own about 18 months ago, and the whole place was just covered in weeds, 1 metre high, thick weeds, cactus. In fact, this was a whole area of cactus over there. Well, we chopped all the cactus out, cleaned up the swimming pool area, pruned out all these canary palms, and we let the animals in, and you can just see how much free manure they've left me. The whole place is full of manure. Now the problem is we're waiting for the rain, because the rain comes over the mountains. I'm at about 5,000 feet here, and the mountains are another 5,000 around me. They're all around me, both sides. So I'm in a kind of a bowl at altitude. Ground is terrible, so we'll walk out and show you some of my soil. As I've got, this is about another acre here. Just look at my soil. There's no way anything can grow in this. There's nothing in it, there's no structure. So the animals haven't done this. The animals have basically just spent their time picking out all the weeds for me, and now I am actually getting some grass in here. All we're doing is waiting for the rain. I thought it was going to be here by now, so maybe global warming, climate change has altered the pattern, because we're now in May and we're only getting like 5 minutes every other day, and it's just not enough to... I've got another 8 acres out here. I promised everybody I am going to show everybody my land one day, because this is actually the good stuff here. It doesn't look very good to people, but this is the natural land. Nobody's ever been out here. So over up to those trees is my land. I've got about another 8 acres and out towards those houses, and you can see it's just a mess. There's a little bit of grass next to this wall, because I'm guessing over time some of this water has ran back away from these trees and or from this wall. But when you're out in the middle there, look, it's just very, very thin, spiky grass. So the reason I didn't do a video for about 6 weeks is I panicked a bit, because we increased the animals gradually last year, and we kind of ran out of land. So what I did one day, I suddenly got the idea to open up a section of land on my own. I do everything on my own here. See, there's a little bit of grass here. See? It's not too bad around the old swimming pool. This is an old disused swimming pool. Big one actually. It's quite deep, it's got a diving board. Okay. We're going to walk out and see where all the animals are. They're all in this corner. What I did, I opened up this wall, smashed a bit of the wall out. I grabbed 45 meters of this goat and sheep fencing. If you're ever putting it up, by the way, there's an upside and a downside to it. I've made that mistake of running a 45 meter section out and realising it's upside down. The holes at the top are slightly bigger, the gaps in the wire, than the bottom, and you obviously want the small holes at the bottom to stop dogs and stuff coming into your land. Anyway, did it on my own. I hooked up one end to that far wall, and I just started unravelling it. Now the sheep have been in here for about a week, actually maybe 2 weeks. The grass when I got here, let me show you, just the other side of the fence, was literally 1 metre high. So it was full of old cactus. You can see how big this cactus is. This is basically a cactus forest, and it's easily, well, I'm nearly 2 meters, and this is probably twice my height. No, about 1.5 times my height. So I'm going to say that's 3 meters. So what I did, the first job, ran the fence out on my own, hooked it up, tried to keep it roughly in a straight line. It's not perfect, but I don't care, because the whole idea is I may move this. Hooked it up to that far wall in the corner and basically just backtracked on myself, trying to be careful with snakes. We do get snakes here. I've seen 2 or 3 around the swimming pool, and I've actually had one last week right up against the back door. Only about a foot long, but I'm not really keen on snakes. So I didn't kill it, I collected it in a bucket and threw it out in the field here. So I know there are snakes out here. So I backtracked on myself, dragging the wire. At first, this cactus was actually above my head here. This was way up here, about the same size as that one. So I used the cactus to hang this fencing onto. I hung it on the cactus, I hung it on that far tree, I hung it on the wall, and I just backtracked until I thought I was running out of the wire. Dragged it around this cactus, hung it on this last cactus, and then took it down to the wall. And actually, I was quite surprised. It took me about 3 hours to pull the fence. And then the following day, I can hear stuff moving. So if I suddenly start jumping, see the stuff in here, you can see how good the grass was. And I thought, well, it's my land. It's just that there's no proper fences out here. My plan is to get another 45-metre section. I've already got it, and I'm going to run it from that corner. Then I'll go around this tree and that tree, and they got this grass. But at the moment, they're doing a cracking job. They've eaten it all right down. And as I say, they're all in here. I didn't know they were here when I grabbed the camera. I just thought, well, I haven't done any aloe vera patch. I found an aloe vera patch, and they love it in here. This was about twice the size. Hello. Hello. You all right? And they're always either, there's glass and everything. I've got to go in and clear this out. Look, there's glass in here. Rocks. But they spend a bit of time in the aloe vera patch. They've actually started eating the cactus, which is great news for me. This is Optunia, and there's 2 types. I've got a spiky kind and a non-spiky kind. There's the spiky kind there. They don't seem to want to touch that. But what you'll notice is where I've took this one down and pruned it right down, they've actually done the rest. They're eating it. So all these white chunky bits missing where the goats and the sheep are eating my cactus, which I'm absolutely delighted about. So they're all in here. I'm going to give them about another month in here. You can see they're all happily eating this. This is effectively like straw. Well, I think all 11, we've got 11 animals. We've got 8 that we bought and 3 of our own babies now. So basically I just needed more land. And here's all the cactus that I pulled out by hand on my own. 58 I am now. And this is keeping me super fit, so I honestly haven't got a clue how much there is there. There's got to be several tons of the stuff. So English guy in Mexico, bye for now.